I guess this movie is a nice reminder and PSA to all of those parents out there to always keep an eye on your kid, because you never know when there's a creepy guy in a cloak hanging around in your apartment. Fantastic Four First Steps, released this past weekend in 2025, and is directed by Matt Shakman, who's also behind the film Cut Bank, and is known for directing episodes of The Great, It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, Fargo, and Game of Thrones. And this film is starring Pedro Pascal, because he's just so dashing and charming and shows up in everything nowadays. Vanessa Kirby, Ebon Moss-Barack, Joseph Quinn, Julia Gardner, Sarah Niles, Mark Gatiss, Natasha Lyonne, Paul Walker-Hauser, and Ralph Ineson. In an alternate universe, the Fantastic Four have been established as the Earth's superheroes and defenders. But the Fantastic Foursome is about to become a fivesome because Reed and Sue Storm get the news that they are pregnant with child. So of course, following this fantastic news comes the announcement from the Silver Surfer that their planet has been marked for death to be consumed by the gigantic titan known as Galactus. And now the Fantastic Four venture out into space to try to negotiate with Galactus to save their planet and all of humankind. So here we are, the start of Phase 6 of the MCU. We are not going to talk anymore about Phase 5 and the debacle that phase was. Well, I guess I will be talking about it in November when I release my ranking video of all of them for members exclusively, so make sure you check that out over in November when I take a little break from this channel. But we had some great things in that phase, and we had a lot of not so great things that we never want to watch and discuss again. Here we are, Phase 6. We are kicking things off. We are now focusing on quality of performance and quality of story as opposed to the quantity of shit. And we're starting the phase off with the first superheroes of the Marvel comic world. And the history of the Fantastic Four on the big screen has not been the best, so this was a pretty big deal for Marvel Studios trying to get these characters and their legacy correct for the MCU because they're just so important and they're all the great characters. I've read a lot of Fantastic Four over the years and I just love the family dynamic. I love how each person interacts with each other, their relationship with each other, and I love how they work as a team in the comics. It really felt like, yes, they're family, but they're also great comrades when it comes to battle, and you definitely see that in this film. We have Reed Richards calling out plays and telling the other three people what to do, and we never really got that in the previous Fantastic Four films. They kind of just flew by the seat of their pants, or someone was doing something on their own, not listening to anyone else, and I never got the sense that the Reed Richards in the previous Fantastic Four films was the most intelligent person on the planet. In this film, absolutely. Pedro Pascal does an amazing job portraying Reed Richards and the curse of knowledge. I love that that's a little phrase that the MCU has been using over the last couple of years, that there are characters in this world and in this universe that are cursed with knowledge, that are always thinking and are always seeing the big picture. And that's who Reed Richards is. He's constantly calculating, he's constantly thinking about the best probable option for a solution. Not saying that he's always going to carry through with the best option, but he's always going to voice the best option, because sometimes that option involves something very close to them that they don't want to give up. I just love it. I love seeing that finally from Reed Richards. For those of you that are going to be watching Marvel Zombies later this year, in the comics, that's how the whole zombie apocalypse kind of really gets going, or at least blows up how it does. Reed Richards in the comics says, wow, this is really evolution. The zombies are actually better than humans, so might as well just let it happen, and I'm going to infect my entire family, and then the zombies run wild over the entire universe. Maybe they'll talk about that in Marvel Zombies later this year, maybe not. Who knows, but I just love that they portrayed correctly this idea of Reed Richards always thinking. Vanessa Kirby definitely carries her own as Sue Storm. You can tell how powerful she is just by her nonverbal and her posture that she has. And it turns out that she's one of the most powerful people on the planet and in the entire universe. I love how they used her. Ebon Moss-Barack as the Thing I thought was tremendous. I love the CGI of the Thing. I did praise in the previous Fantastic Four films that I reviewed earlier last week that the prosthetics, the practical effects of the Thing were actually pretty good. And I know they use a lot of practical effects here in this film, but you can definitely tell that the CGI of The Rock is there. But I think it looks crisp and looks good. And Joseph Quinn, who is quickly becoming like one of my favorite actors working today, he's so genuine in this role of Johnny Storm. I love how they didn't make him a womanizer like they've done in previous iterations and definitely all throughout the comics. In this one, he almost seems dweeby. Like, they make an effort of saying, like, yeah, this guy never gets a girl. He can never go out on a date with anyone because he's such a nerd, basically, in his own right, but like a cool nerd, not a Reed Richards nerd. I just love the shift, and I loved all four of these together. It felt like these four actors were able to convey a sense of family in their performance. And then Julia Garner, who plays Shala Ball, this version of the Silver Surfer. I know she got a lot of flack when she was cast. We got a lot of incels out there talking about how, oh, they're making Silver Surfer the woman, and Marvel is so woke and blah blah blah. Little do all of these idiots know that there are multiple Silver Surfers in the history of the comics. This one is Shala Ball. Yes, she is a woman. But you know what? It makes sense for this movie. I love the dichotomy of this female character who's bringing news of death and destruction and consumption, but then we also have Sue Storm, who's now pregnant with child, and she represents like the rebirth and the giving of life. We have this beautiful dichotomy between these two female characters and the power that they have on each side, one to bring destruction, one to bring life. I just thought that was a beautiful contrast and a beautiful symmetry to the story. And then we have Galactus proper showing up in this movie, like actual Galactus, not a poop cloud, as John Schnepp would say on Collider Movie Talk. We don't have a poop cloud Galactus. We actually have Galactus in here, and he is terrifying. He looks great on screen. He's actually the Galactus giant person walking around and destroying things and consuming things. I'm so happy that we have him here. Hopefully, because we have him here, that he will show up in Avengers Secret War, because he played a pivotal part in the original Secret Wars series. So to have him introduced here, I thought was great. And probably my favorite part of this entire film is the score. Like, the biggest character and the biggest joy that I had was whenever that Fantastic Four theme started playing. Da, 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 da. Michael Giacchino once again proves that he is, if not the best, one of the best composers, film composers working today. I love his sci-fi elements that he had in his score. It felt like this is out of the 60s. It felt like we were watching the Jetsons or any Saturday morning cartoon that dealt with space travel. It was fun. It was awesome. I think the only drawback that I had to this film is that it took a while for this movie to get going for me. Because like Superman that came out a couple of weeks ago, we don't spend a lot of time on the origin of these heroes. The movie starts and we are plopped right in. It's been 4 years and the Fantastic Four have taken out so many different villains, have watches on so many different villains. We actually have a montage of all the villains that, or at least the prominent villains that they've captured over the years. And right away from the start, we see Reed Richards and Sue Storm looking at the pregnancy test and finding out that they're pregnant. So it feels like there's a lot of backstory that I didn't see and that I want to see. So I felt a little disjointed in the first act because I wasn't feeling a strong connection at first. But as the movie goes along, we see the space travel and we see all the plans that they're implementing to save the Earth. Yeah, you get invested. And when Galactus shows up, he is terrifying. He is a fantastic villain. I keep using the word fantastic, but it's the Fantastic Four movies, so give me a break, people. But yeah, in Act 2 and Act 3, it wins me over, and I have a blast. This movie was so much fun. Is it the best MCU film that they've put out? Is it perfect? Absolutely not. But it's a great, solid start to Phase 6, and I think we're getting some great stuff here in this phase because we have Spider-Man 4 coming out, we have both Avengers films, we have a Punisher special, Season 2 of Daredevil Born Again. I'm excited. And this film made me even more excited for what's to come with Marvel. I think we are back. I think we're focusing on quality over quantity. This is the MCU where they shine, and this was an important film, and I think they succeeded. I'm going to give the Fantastic Four First Steps 4 out of 5 Blu-rays.
I like it a lot.
So guys, if you've seen the Fantastic Four First Steps, what did you think about it? Or if you've never seen it before and you stumbled across because of this video, then comment below and let me know what you thought about it. And as always, if you like what you see here, if you like my take on movies, then hit the subscribe button and make sure you hit that bell so you know the next time I'm releasing next movie review. So guys, I will see you next time on the channel, but in the meantime, be well, be good to each other, and go watch a movie. Take care, guys.